All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear okay. Is my volume too loud? Just let me know. All right, we're going to take a look at the Ernie Shell case, the new theory that he's claiming he came up with, the timeline that we always said didn't match, their whole stories didn't match. And we're going to take a listen to what he's claiming now he's figured out. And you know what? I feel bad for him. I'll give him the credit. I mean, we know he was trolling, but you know, what can you do about it? Let the kid have something, right? Give him this something. I'm not saying he solved anything that we didn't already know, but yes, I can. You can hear okay. All right, Debbie. If you can't hear me at all, then let me know so we don't have any troubles. We don't have a derailment like we seen tonight. I don't know how these people or women get themselves mixed up in this. I have no idea. But let me tell you something. I have a feeling that they're going to play it out all the way until we hear handcuffs or see tasers coming out. And that's just like, oh, come on, guys. It's just from day one, the story never added up. I mean, this has been 5 years we've been watching these people. We've solved it. How come they can't? I don't understand. Many people called in on this. You know, heck, they were watching Ernie for other things. Also, this is just crazy. All right, let's watch Mr. Shell's channel. I'm going to post it in chat. Do I hate Mr. Shell? No, I don't hate any of these people. You know, I don't know these people. Some of these women are nice women, but I don't know where they get. And he's pissing people. You don't want to piss off that little, what's her name? Tina Marie or TM. You don't want to piss her off. Sweet Jesus. You don't. Yeah, I would just if she was on my channel. You got that's the type of guest you have to pamper. I don't know. Do I have to show these guys how to treat these ladies? Right? You give them some coffee, ask them if they need a tea, maybe a nighttime tea. Very nice. You don't want to piss her off. I'll tell you that much. No, let's watch this. It's very interesting what we're finding out here. I mean, this is shocking. He's he solved another one. This was his bread and butter. This was his baby. It's another one. It's another one he solved. Debbie says it's just Peter Mendes. Oh, they, are you kidding me? This is a whole nother level of madness, right? And we knew it. The story had to change because the last one didn't pan out. It what it did. The last stories, what did it do? Well, it incriminated themselves. They're like, wait a minute, let's play this back, right? Look, and then they watched our videos, and then they're like, holy crap, yeah, something else happened, and now what are they? Miss M9 comes in, right? This little lady, we've never seen her before. She comes in with a hair bun, glasses, looking all sexy, spread out on the chair. I feel bad for her. Ernie said he's been with her. Now there's another woman that we, of straight men, now have to question and look at and can't date. This is, Debbie, I'm telling you, this is just going real sour real fast. Right? She popped up, everyone. She's like, hello. I'm like, whoa, what's this? No. And then she's like, I'm M9. Whoa. She just bombshell, boom. All the women went silent. Oh my God, her beauty has conquered the beast. And of course, Ernie Shell admits that he was with her. Oh, yeah, I know her. Yeah, I lived with her. Yeah, we were lovers. Son of a gun. He gets them all. He gets all the women. He's like a young Burt Reynolds, but way more crazier than Burt. You know, I knew Bert. He was crazy, but not that crazy. All right, let's get going here with this. This is unbelievable, Debbie. Wait till you hear this. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. How this kid can play a role right into the grave. It's unbelievable. But, you know, some say it's talent. You know, he's got talent and he can bullshit with the best of them. Let's watch a little. Debbie, if you can let me know if you can hear this. Once again, I'm going to post the Great Houdini, Ernie Shell's channel in my chat. God bless him. He's so crazy. Somebody help him. I don't know. Maybe, you know, I'm worried. I'm worried because we're running out of options and medications. And the next thing I'm thinking, it might be shock treatment or lobotomy. I'm not sure if they still do lobotomies. That was like back in the 70s, you know. But I don't know what's wrong with these people. All right, let's continue to go. And some of them, I'm not trying to upset. You're all beautiful women, Debbie Fox, all these women over there at Ernie's, very, very beautiful, and a lot of talent. You know how they got it. I have no idea. I don't, suckered, and now they're all figuring out. Well, Mama T figured it out. She split. Right, Mama T's like, no, I've been through this in the 70s. It's called a cult, the Manson family. And she boogied. She ran. She's like, no, get them away. It was unbelievable, man. But now let's just watch this. Can our government be that blind? You know, probably. They probably need glasses. You know, they've been wearing sunglasses for so long that they need regular glasses. All right, let's continue with this.
Vehicle up to let Hunter out.
Hunter.
And he was all shaking and scared.
Hunter was scared.
Shaking and scared.
Shaking
you did.
And scared.
But you also said that Allie had came down to see Summer. You denied her. You did not let her see Summer. That was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. Now, what you did after that, Summer never left the vehicle.
Well, Mr. Shell, if you really want to know the truth, Allie seen Summer Wells in the back of the car, and let's quote Allie. I wanted to give that little girl a hug because every time I see her, I give her a hug. But Candace would not let her give Summer a hug. Summer, she can see Summer, but they wouldn't let her touch Summer. So that's exactly what they said, I do believe. Miss Fox, do you know anything about that? I do believe that's what Allie said then, and the grandmother or one of the ladies said. They ran up to the vehicle and wanted to give Summer a hug goodbye and a kiss, but Candace would not wake her up and said, no, she's sleeping, leave her alone. But they can see her through the window. So that was exactly their words. Now let's continue. Oh, Debbie says yes. That's what exactly. All right, let's keep going.
Because you drove down to the Exxon. You did. You drove down to the Exxon. You passed it up. You were spotted. You were spotted there. You know what's sad is it took so long. If the right law enforcement would have been in play on this, you would have got caught. You would have actually got caught. Allie admitted she never went off her porch. Now, we're putting together the timeline that's real, that we believe in our heart that's real. Hunter, you told your dad.
At Amazon, skills training and apprenticeships can move hourly employees into higher paying roles.
It's not helpful.
You will have immunity. You will have immunity on this. I've got it all.
Debbie, can you? Now let's get something straight for that little hot tamale on Mr. Ernie Shell's channel. Debbie, can you hear the video when I'm playing it? Just so we know. When I play the video, can you hear it? Let me know if you can hear the video that he is bringing Hunter to light again. Well, we always had Hunter a suspect. Why? Because Hunter was one of the last people to see her alive. Hunter confessed to going into Candace's phone and deleting things, right? But this is unreal. Now, I want to get one thing straight with these hot tamales that are on Ernie Shell's channel. I don't think the case of Summer Wells is funny. What I think is funny is the crap that we're hearing. Now, that's all I want to say. I got no beef with you beautiful ladies over there. You're a bunch of hot firecrackers. I understand that. You should be treated respectfully. But I don't think it's funny. What I think is funny is the bull crap that we've been listening to for 5 years with Ernie Shell. I can't. Is he a salesman? You know, he's a lot. Johnny, you please not keep saying that about all these ladies. I'm going to throw up. Debbie's going to throw up. Well, you got to be respectful, Debbie, and give props where props are due. You're beautiful, too. You're all beautiful ladies. All right, let's continue.
All of it. You will have immunity on this.
He can't give immunity on this. You don't have the power to give immunity on this. Where does he think he is? He don't have immunity to give anybody because he is nobody. And you're going to hear it on this video that we're listening to that there's nothing he could do. He's not law enforcement. So how is he going to tell Hunter he's going to have immunity? Is just plain crazy because Hunter is a suspect. And many people are looking at him as a suspect. And it's very fishy that he would go into someone's phone and start deleting stuff. All right, let's keep going.
You was afraid. You was scared. Summer was like a little sister to you. Was. Now, Candace, I know you're watching right now. I know all of you are watching. Fred McCoy,
MSATS News, good live.
I sent you a message. I'm glad you messaged me back. I'm not about the drama. Thank you. Good deal. I told you all. But Don Wells, Candace drove and met you at 5:30. 5:30. You see, there was two different mistakes that were made along there. Two different mistakes. Now, if we go by perception and we understand in class what perception is, then we go into the true meaning of perception is reality until proven otherwise.
MSATS News, if you want to post your live in chat, go ahead. Now, going back to Mr. Ernie Shell with reality, the reality is, Mr. Shell, that the family and everyone around them, friends, family, neighbors, possibly are suspects. It's an ongoing case. Nobody has been cleared. TBS has said that numerous times. And the more you YouTubers, which you're going to hear here, that we're all wrong, that we are trying to make the case what we want, but we are the ones that said that from the beginning that their stories are not lining up and the timeline is not lining up. The people that searched for her said there's no proof of any abduction at all. So that was a clue right off the bat that something was not right. This made Ernie seem so sus. Well, we're going to hear that here. I mean, I keep trying to, say, you guys, and they all are, because you're going to find out in this case that some of these YouTubers already knew Don and Candace, right? And we also found out the other day that Don knew Benny, right? And Benny is the one that showed him they could make money off of this. They could do the whole internet thing and make money. There's many people involved, folks. They knew what happened. And what did they do? Exactly what, like Donald Trump said. They tried to make a grab for the money. Sad, but that's what I think. My opinion is and then you have to take in consideration the way they talk about Summer. So close after she came up missing, they were already talking like she was deceased. They'll never see her again. That's fishy too.
Observation versus perception. When we observe something, we observe facts. Facts is what comes out of that. Facts is. Perception is interpretation. We automatically think because perception to us is reality. This is where the YouTubers messed up. This is where all the YouTubers messed up, folks, because we wanted it so bad and we wanted our way and we let our way clog our judgment into thinking the most horrible thing that could have happened.
I don't think so, Mr. Show. You might be right about a couple of these people. But on this channel, we think out the box. And anything is possible in a murder, kidnapping, robbery. Anything is possible. And you should know that. You should know that anything is possible. And plus, like Mrs. Debbie Fox was saying, that sometimes, you put your foot in your mouth right before, you didn't know them. You didn't live around there. 3 years later or whatever it was, yes. And now you're even saying it. Yes, you lived in that area. You knew who they were. You knew Hawkins County. You knew all this because you lived there. And what was even more crazier is when Don got on the phone and was questioning you about taking. That was even crazy. But what was even more crazier is when you did talk to Don, you guys seemed like you were buddies, and he was telling you he had to change the timeline, and you're like, you can't change the timeline. It's suspicious of, is this scripted, staged, whatever, cover up or something. And it's just interesting to find out that this, it just keeps changing. But you know what, Mr. Show, after 5 years, we've come back around to the original people that are suspect, and more people that probably helped try and make a grab for the money or whatever. It's pretty crazy, but it might be true.
The most horrible thing that could have happened. And we let it cloud our judgment on these people. But what I don't understand is, Trudy, I don't understand your involvement in the Candace thing, because we all know that, I believe, that you are connected, deeper with Candace than you are with Don. That's why she called you. She didn't call the agency with the McCoy video. She called you on FaceTime. She had you on FaceTime. You can tell that when she gives the phone to Don Wells, the phone is turned around and you can see Trudy. You can.
Well, Mr. Shell's right about that. So what did these people do? I think some of these people were sucked in, and then they finally realized that they made a mistake, right? And everybody was like, "Oh crap!" And even to this day, I think they made a mistake. Now, Ernie Shell, you know, Ernie Shell has lied a lot. That's his job. Entertainment. What is entertainment? Well, they lie like dogs, right? They do it every day when they make a move. They become someone else. They lie. It's not real. It's. But he's so lost. He's been doing this so long. He can't break away from it. He just can't break away. Even when he tries to do good, they have so much stuff on him. It's unbelievable. And every time he tries to do it right and do it good, holes start coming out in the case or his story or his theory. And then we back check it and we're like, well, wait a minute. Is he trolling us? Is he trolling somebody and he's getting this information or whatever? And you have to go back. You have to go back farther than 5 years to really figure out what really was going on, because before the Summer Wells case, he was battling with Jimbo with some crazy crap that he tied up some woman and had people film her or something. Something about a kid or something. You have to go back and look that he's always been the villain, right? He's always been the villain in it. They always come out and they have this stuff on them. He thinks they're his friends, and he probably does this stuff thinking they won't say anything because he'll beat them half to death. It just goes on and on. He's always the villain. They always make him to be the villain or something. And he's in that role so long, he just can't break away from it. He can't break away from it. And this is his bread and butter. This is how Ernie makes money, is on YouTube. Do I blame him? Well, I don't blame him, but he's been in so much crap and the charges he's had. Now he's trying to get AI or assistance from the veterans. He's saying he's claiming he's going to get veteran benefits, but you have to be in so long and you have to be, I don't know. I'm not going to go in that. We've all seen this. It just keeps going back and back to what? The same stuff that we started off with in the beginning of this. The last people that were around that little girl, a day, a week, 6 months is suspect. We really don't know when this occurred. Did it occur that day or did it occur another day? And they created all this. Did the family actually know what happened? She passed away from disease or sickness. Okay. It was an accident. You didn't have enough. If they would have said we just didn't have we couldn't pay for the medical bill. She passed away. Hey, I understand 100%. There's a lot of people that didn't have health insurance and just couldn't afford things and passed. That's true. I don't know if it's true in this, but if they would have just came out like I was asking other people, you think maybe when Candace left, the kids were playing, something happened, an accident, or maybe Candace fell asleep and little Summer went outside and was swinging on the swing and slammed into the tree? Or is it possible as they were at the swimming hole, they might have been skipping rocks and They skipped a rock and they hit her in the head, knocked her out, and she started drowning. That's also possible. You know, the photo in the truck it wasn't adding up with their timeline or their story. You know, so it's very fishy, the whole thing. All right, let's continue with this. Debbie said, no, damn, it's not, or it's Mo. Let's see, he likes her page. The lady who sits Indian style. I don't know what she's talking. All right, let's get back to the Summer Wells case there.
See her. It wasn't a phone number that she called. We all know that they have to have Wi-Fi, especially Candace up there, because remember when Candace said that she didn't have service, that only AT&T could pick up around that area, and she had to use Grandis's phone to even call 911. Now my thing is, Grandis, you were there also at the swimming hole. One more thing. You made another mistake, Candace. You showed Summer Wells clothing. You showed the top and the pants. You showed that on one of the videos. We was watching that today.
All right. Now, depending on what video, Mr. Shell, you're watching, the day that they were at the watering hole, the video that we seen, Summer was wearing all pink. A pink top, and it appeared to be a pink skirt or swimming bottoms or whatever. So after they swim, remember that whole story with Summer? She felt cold. Remember Candace saying that, Debbie? She felt cold and everything or whatever, you know, and so they put clothes on her, right? Well, why is it real thick around her legs or whatever? Well, she had what appeared to be a skirt on or something. When they put them black pants over her, that probably got caught in the thigh area or whatever and made it bulge out. So that's probably what it was. Hold on, let me read my chat. Who had the password to the cameras? I don't know. Yes, and it was very hot that day. Exactly. But yet, that's what Candace said. It was one of the hottest days in Tennessee. That's why they went swimming. But yet, we see Summer in the vehicle, all dressed up in a jacket, pants, you know, but it was supposed to be one of the hottest days that day. So that whole thing didn't add up. All right, let's keep going.
And you state that is what she was wearing. But I don't believe that's the same one, because when I look at it and we look at what it is, let me turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it down a little bit. That way everybody can understand what we're getting at. Because the timeline now of Grandis going back in and going to sleep and giving the extra hours that would make the timeline actually right. But there was one other YouTuber that really hit it really close, and that was Jenna. Jenna did, because she was talking with Grandis. Now, this is one thing that really gets me.
Well, we also knew that story was a line of crap, where they came home and Summer and Grandma wanted plants planted, and they went ahead and planted the plants, and Summer helped, but that story was debunked. Grandma went home and took a nap. There was no plants. Chris McDowell, whatever his name is, I forget his channel, he was out there. He showed the pots. There was no dirt in the pots. Everyone was saying Summers got dirt on her hands because she was planting plants. That was a lie. Because there was gravel in them pots, not dirt. And there was cactus in it. And you can ask little Debbie Fox, cactus love what? Gravel. Why? Well, that's just what they like. Sandy gravel, dirty, you know, that's what they like. The water passes through it and it sucks up into the roots. So we found out that was a lie. She went home and took a nap, Chris said. Right? The truth came out about that. So the whole thing that Candace said was a bunch of crap. You know, that wasn't, and that was from the beginning of it. So, no, this is all. I hate to say it, old news. Let's keep going.
I've got it all. But where did you take Summer to?
He figured
meet
this whole
Dawn?
thing out.
You see, we're piecing this together in the right way. Now, Hunter, I'm going to say this. The reason this fills in perfectly with the timeline is because it was reported that you was shaking, you was scared, you was afraid. Remember that? This all fills in. It fills this in because you know what happened to Summer, Hunter. You know what happened to her. Now, one thing that really makes it twisted
Well, he's right about that. But 3 years ago, Ernie Show was on Hunter and Andrew's side. It wasn't them, no. But now that we all been talking that he's a suspect. You know, he's definitely a suspect. Now Ernie's coming around. Wait a minute, Hunter. Yeah, well, Hunter was there. You know, I hate to say it. You know, do I hate Hunter? No, I don't know these people. We're just YouTubers, couch potato investigators. Debbie says that's not dirt under her fingernails. It's loss of oxygen. That's what I said. 2 years I think the year that came out, we were looking at that photo, and I blew it up on a big screen and looked at it, and it looked like she probably got hit in the head or something, and she slipped into a coma. You know, a lot of people think it's a joke. I'm like, no, if you get hit in the head real bad, don't fall asleep. At least that's what they used to tell us back in the day. You know, when I had my concussion, they wouldn't let me go to bed. You know, but I busted my head open real bad, had to get staples or whatever. I was busted up pretty bad, but they wouldn't let me go to sleep. They would not let me sleep. They said that was the worst thing, is to fall asleep when you have a concussion, because you could slip into a coma and never come out of it. So I think there's a period of like 4 to 6 hours where you gotta keep observing the person with the head trauma or the concussion, and you can't let them sleep. You know, because automatically they want to sleep. And they'll vomit. They'll throw up. You'll get real cold. And so, yeah, it's crazy. At least that's what happened when I had my concussion real bad. It made me real nauseous, dizzy, and I wanted to go to bed, but no one would let me go to sleep. So I had to go to the hospital, and they wouldn't let me sleep in the hospital either. And that was back in the early 80s, late 70s, when I was just a young lad. So, yeah, you know, so it's possible something happened at the water hole or at the house, because we don't know if they went home before They went back. We know this much. They lied about a lot of stuff. So they might have went to Candace's before they dropped Hunter off. We don't know. You know, if they're lying about one thing, they might be lying about the whole thing. I bet she passed away in the car. Probably. You know, there's a good chance. Or this happened before and they staged it all to look like it happened at the watering hole or in the, you know, that's very possible. We know this much. You know, they lie. Even like I told everybody, man, if this was an accident, they should have just called the police in the ambulance, and it would have went down as an accident. You know, but we're seeing that there's more to this, and that is they're trying to. I think we all know what they're trying to do, right? I think we all know. And I'm honest. I'm being honest right now. If they would have called the authorities, it would have probably went down as an accident. But being that they created this whole thing, well, now laws have been broken, justice has been obstructed, and now, well, they made money off of it, and that's not good in my opinion. Maybe that scream that Jody Sue heard was Candace finding her falling down the steps, maybe, or outside. Debbie, if you're not going to be able to hear Candace screaming from inside the house, so if she heard Candace screaming, then they were outside playing and doing something. It's very possible they went to Candace's before they went to drop off Hunter, possibly. I'm not sure. On this channel, all we're doing is connecting dots and going back and watching stuff. That's all we can do. And, you know, we've been talking to this. I go into Remain Calm's, you know, a lot of us have been talking about Remain Calm was talking about the timeline, the whole thing, you know, if they lied about that. I'm like, yeah, I agree 100%. You know, it's sad, but if this was just an accident and they called, they would have been better off. You know, now, could someone have taken her? You know, there's no proof of that. It's like the John Bonet Ramsey case. It's just what did the first investigators say? There was no evidence of anyone being in that house except for the family. You know, and it's the same thing with this. If someone went into that house, there would have been evidence. Someone would have heard a door shut. If Summer didn't know this person, don't you think Summer would have screamed? So whoever took her, she had to know. And that just, the whole thing is just not making sense. You know, it was a bear. Well, no. There would have been evidence of a bear on the property. There would have been paw marks. There would have been bear poop. There would have been calls from other people. Yo, we got a bear out here. Be careful. There was no evidence of a bear. Although there's many bear, there was no evidence of a bear. How'd the bear open the door? And then take Summer and then close the door? Come on, folks. A bear. Well, it's possible. But that must have been one talented bear. You got all the dogs. You know, if there was a bear on the property, the dogs would have smelt it. All right, let's keep going.
When I took the pictures to the...
Oh, hi, I'm Liberty Bibberty, and I'm here to tell everyone about Liberty Mutual's great coverage.
That was really unearthing. Really unearthing. But what I don't understand, Candace, is why put the lipstick on? Why put the lipstick on directly after she got out of the water without cleaning her up first? You know,
Well, Mr. Shell, I can tell you why they put lipstick on her, to make it look like her lips, like to make it look like she was still alive. I imagine if we all think as you are now thinking, like us, which is shocking, well, her lips would have turned blue of lack of oxygen, as Miss Debbie Fox said about her nails, which we blew up the photo and seen that. So they would have put makeup on her to probably try and make it appear that she still had life in her. So I'm just saying. Now let's get back to this.
ladies, we don't go and put makeup on. You all don't go put makeup. If you go to the water hole, if you go to a swimming hole, think about this. Now remember, perception, logic. We got to think logic on this. We got to think logic. If you go to a swimming hole, after you get out of the swimming hole, you're going to take a shower first, right? You're going to take a shower first before you put makeup on. Before you put any makeup on, you're going to.
Well, Mr. Shell, the makeup was just a diversion to make it look like she was alive. Right? Because if we would have looked at the photo, which you can see through the lipstick that her lips are bluish color, you know. So you can tell that the lipstick was just used to make it appear like, well, she was still good. But if you notice in the picture, her hair starting to turn. And that happens when you pass away. What happens? Your hair starts to go back to what? Its original color. If you're older, it'll turn gray. That's what happened to Elvis, you know. God rest his soul. When he passed away, he had black hair, jet black. As soon as he passed, he already had his original, what he was, his age, the gray coming in. And that's probably what we're seeing also in the summer photo, in the back seat. Well, it could be sunscreen, but it looks glittery. I would have to ask Debbie to look at it because Debbie would know sunscreen and then like kids glitter makeup or whatever, or women's makeup. It looked like a lip balm or something, or whatever these kids or ladies use. You mean this picture she was taking Summer to Don? Well, that's what Ernie's saying. She was, and that might be very possible. You know, they would have had a plan to do something. You know, so that's very possible. Let's listen.
Going to have to take a bath. I would at least hope that, unless you were going to cover up something. The photos, the video that you had to have, Candace, of Summer was what we call proof of life. You had to have proof of life. But what happened to Summer is she never left that vehicle. She never left the vehicle. She never left the vehicle. Let's say that. Let's say that she put makeup on before she went swimming. Let's say that. We know that Hunter said she went underwater. She went underwater. Thank you. I appreciate it. So what I don't understand is you said you stopped at Walgreens for a prescription. This is a big one too. A real big one. So there's parts of the timeline that I believe you just put in there. Because I know when you got to the top of the hill, Summer didn't get out of the vehicle. Summer did not get out of the vehicle. Did not. because you waited about 5 or 10 minutes and then you got back in the vehicle. You panicked. You panicked before because you didn't know what to do. I believe that it was an accident. I do now. I do now. I do. I do. I believe in my heart that it was an accident. But what I don't understand, I got it. Thank you. Candace, answer me one question. Answer me one question. Why did you lie to the TBI about what Summer went missing in? You lied. I believe you lied. I believe it was a cover-up. Candace, do you remember when you said as soon as you got home, you had to wash clothes? Do you remember when you said as soon as you got home, you had to wash clothes? But then later on, that story changed, Candace. You no longer use that story. And the fact of the matter is, I believe you forgot the real timeline on what you said that you made up at the swimming hole.
Well, there you go. So we knew right off the bat that the stories in the beginning of the case weren't adding up. And here we are 5 years later, and it's still the same thing. We're back 360 to who? The last people that seen Summer that day, that week, 6 months. We don't know when this really happened. You know, they're saying it happened that day. Okay, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. All right, it happened that day. Now everyone's coming around saying, no, all right, it was an accident. Well, even if it wasn't an accident and she was abducted or whatever, there would have been evidence of that, right? And to this day, TBI is claiming that there is no evidence that she was ever taken from that house. So whoever did this would have had to know the dogs. They would have had the dogs would have had to been comfortable with them, and they would have had to know the layout of the house and property and been there before. And they would have had to walk into the back door, take Summer, or walk into the back door, because remember, Candace was in front. There's no way anyone got past her. You know, they would have had to walk into the door, walk upstairs through that dungeon, take Summer, if she was up there, in front of the kids, because the kids were the ones left alone to watch Summer as Candace went back out the front door to talk to Grandis or whatever. And the story's not adding up, folks. Don't you think the kids would have said, oh, yeah, where's Summer? Well, some guy just came in and took her and went downstairs. You know, come on. Come on. It's no wonder our country is so bad, because I can't believe the government even the government don't believe their stories. So Debbie says, I teach my dog to bark anyway. Go, boys. Alerting mama. Yeah. Well, you know, and that's what their dogs probably have done. What did we see? Well, we seen Mr. Hatfield and McCoy, Mrs. and Mrs. Hatfield and McCoy go up on the mountain, and all they did was step onto the driveway and start walking up, and here come the dogs. So we knew right there that the dogs would have heard something and came a running. Now, of course, the Hatfield McCoys were calling out their names, saying, yo, we're here, after the dogs came a barking or whatever. But the dogs, if anyone got close to that house, you know, I'm sure with 8 dogs at that time they had, or something like that, or maybe more, They might have, because didn't they say the dogs used to lay on that mattress that was leaning up against the house? Used to lay on that right there on the back door where Summer's bedroom was. Why is it any folks? Why would they put their daughter Summer right next to the door, to the back door? Can I ask you folks that? When I had a woman and I was dating a woman, I wouldn't let her sleep by the door. I would sleep by the door and she would sleep on the other side of bed in case somebody broke in or something. Right? In case someone broke in. Well, you can get to them first before they get to your woman that you love or your child. But yet they put her right in front of the back door. That was very crazy to me. She sleeps with Don and Candace in the basement. Yeah, I know. That's where she slept in the dungeon. No, I'm not stealing her content. You can get it. I need to find new help myself. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
Lip gloss, makeup. It looks like it's something like that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know much about makeup for females. No. What we have is we're not saying that at all. We're simply filling in the timeline. That's all we're doing. Right now, it's just a piece of the puzzle getting placed in the timeline. That's it. Nothing more. Just a piece of the puzzle getting put into the timeline. Someone said it could be her red drink. Well, I thought she had blue. I thought she had blue drink, purple drink, or something like that. So that don't make no sense. It makes no sense anyways. Now,
the soda was orange.
All we're doing is simply filling in the timeline. That's it. That's all we're doing. Well, if that's true, I thought, listen.
Well, we were listening to the voice in the truck where Candace is asking whoever's in the passenger seat, is her arms still up? And she says no. So, yeah. Well, who was that woman? I don't know. People are saying it was Grandis. And people are saying it wasn't Grandis. It was someone else. Now, would it shock me if Little Summer had that kid makeup? That kid makeup they put on, sparkly kid makeup stuff? Or even some of her mother's makeup or grandma's makeup? No, it wouldn't. That's common with young ladies. Makeup is common. So she might have had it her own, but someone might have put it on her. But to put it on her like that is, to me, seems fishy. Like maybe her lips were blue, her fingernails were already turning blue, and they put the lipstick on to make it look like, point the camera at her, and then they, well, she looks like she's sleeping or something, but really she was unconscious. Pretty crazy.
I thought that her drink was blue and purple.
No,
we're getting very close on this. Because, Hunter, you slipped and told somebody.
Hunter ran his mouth.
And you see, just like anything, perception is reality until proven otherwise. I kept going back and forth with this on training.
When you stay with Choice Hotels, you get more of the experiences you value. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
And what don't make...
Well, you have to ask yourself, Debbie, how could it be Jody Sue if she heard Candace screaming? Jody Sue is claiming that she was at home, but she heard Candace screaming. So Jody Sue would have had to taken the kid, got home, and then hear the screaming. Now anything is possible because on this channel we know that anything is possible, folks. All the way down to fake people on the internet, all the way down to fake accounts, numerous accounts, people that are spies, sent from other channels to try and blackmail. Now, I'm gonna say this out of context and break away from this. I'm almost feeling like somebody's trying to blackmail. One of these women, maybe many, are trying to blackmail. It's just like he can't get away from this. It's almost like when he does try and pull away from it, they inject another woman. Hi, Ernie. Remember me? Is that a horse? We don't know. We don't know because they keep, whenever it gets close to where, you can see him trying to want to pull away. They suck him back in. It's like the Godfather movie, right? With Michael when he says he's out of the mile. I'm out. And then what happens? They suck him back in. Right? Just when I think I'm out, they suck me back in. And that's what happens here, But Debbie, it's possible. Jody Sue, she lived close. Ernie lived out there. Now he's come out and admitted that he lived out there. Police knew who he was and all that. I don't know.
Make no sense is the beginning of it. It don't make no sense. There's too many different ones. Blue raspberry. Thank you, Chaos Gobbler. Thank you. It don't make no sense. Now, if we go, Markella, I don't care what you think.
Summer had orange, but wasn't it Grandis or somebody that had a different purple pink drink or something like that? And Summer wanted some of that, they said. And then we went through that story that Candace put medication in the soda, and then that's, they gave it to Summer so she would pass out so they can drop her off at the sex person's house because that's what they did. You remember that story? It's funny how these people don't remember any of these stories. They play dumb. It's unbelievable. Remember that whole story, Debbie? They put medication in the soda and gave it to her, and she passed out because they had to transfer her to drop her off at the shed where somebody was going to have SA her and then bring her back. And that, I've been through this whole thing, this whole story over and over.
I know, trust me, I have the evidence. I know. I'm doing this the right way by speaking with people like with Hunter and his friends that he's told. You see, we knew that we had to find certain individuals who hung out with certain individuals, right? We had to. Can you imagine a kid that has this type of secret? Imagine growing up in life, knowing this. It's going to haunt you. It's going to haunt you, people. It's going to come out. You've got to get it off your chest. I don't believe Hunter's in the wrong. I don't. I believe it was an accident. But Grandis, you're a liar. And I can prove.
Well, if it was an accident, then that's what it would have went down with. If let's just say Hunter and Summer were playing and something happened, right? If they would have called the authorities or ran to the hospital or whatever, it would have went down as an accident. But I hate to say it, what they did Well, they committed a crime by trying to cover stuff up, by doing stuff. And you know what? It didn't help that Hunter comes out and says that, yeah, he went into Candace's phone, and Chris asked him, why'd you do that? Well, I was just checking to see if such and such, and he deleted something or whatever. That was fishy. The whole thing was pretty fishy. Yeah, I heard you, Deb. Debbie says, I'm not answering you. Don't listen. I'm listening.
Prove that. I can prove that you lied, Grandis. I can prove that. Also, getting out of the vehicle, Candace says Summer went into the house, but Grandis says she helped carry the groceries in. She actually said that she helped the boys carry the groceries in. They pretty much destroy
true.
their own stories.
Well, that's what we said way in the
So I
beginning.
do believe Summer never got out of the vehicle.
No.
I don't believe she ever got out of the vehicle. I don't believe it. I don't believe she ever got out of the vehicle. Not at all.
Let me tell you something about these YouTubers, and I got a couple myself. They'll scam the shit out of you. And that's what's going on with Ernie Shell probably is. It's all coming back. He trusted people. Hey, Shell, we all have trusted people. And here to find out, you can't trust them because they're already sending photos, conversations, thinking that they're going to try and get you in trouble or whatever. But all along, it was part of a racket. Now, you might be dealing with that with some of these people in your chat. It's like James Carville said, don't trust nobody because they're all backstabbers. They'll try and make it out like they're the hero, they're the superstar. You're wrong, they're right.
I believe that there's other things that Don Wells. I believe that there's something in between Don and Candace that's controlling, that's manipulated. I believe that. I believe that.
Well,
Now,
he might be
this
a
is about
messiah.
investigations. We're going to come up with our own timeline. And we just added another piece of puzzle, another puzzle piece to it. That's it.
Another piece to the puzzle, and that's what it is. And the puzzle keeps growing every day. All right, let's fast forward a little bit where he introduces M9 and some of these other ladies where it starts to heat up. These are all alpha and male women. I can tell that with these women. When they come on panel, they want their time. They want their respect. And they don't want nobody to pay attention to anybody but them. So I understand that. But let's move along here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. So what we're putting together is an actual fact that we could say this is a piece to a timeline and we can show that we have the evidence. Now,
Right.
the evidence was not for YouTube. It's not for YouTube at all. Because if
Right.
you start giving everything out and doing this and that, but we can say we've got this timeline now, this piece of the puzzle that's here. M9 said she would come back. She's going outside. Let her go outside. Let her go outside.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. We got somebody else back here. Hold on one second.
Well,
I don't
don't
know.
mute me this time too long because you kept it on mute last time.
Oh,
Okay,
we
so,
muted you. That's not
okay,
fair.
so hold on one second. We got somebody back here.
Ernie's
I don't know.
never
I don't know who
muted
she
me.
is. This is Jennifer, guys. Hello, Jen.
Hey, how are you?
How are you, Jen?
I'm doing good. I am interested in your timeline.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now,
Yeah.
who are you to the Summer Wells case? Because I don't know much the characters or nothing, but tell me a little bit about yourself.
I don't really either know a whole lot about the characters. I know some characters in the Summer Wells case. I followed it since I believe it was 2022, 2023.
Mhm.
Mapped the missing and I just investigate another way. And I'm interested in your timeline. I'm also interested in your theories. I'm interested in
Okay.
anybody and everyone that knows anything about the case as far as what I could put on the map.
Well, I can tell you this much, little lady. I can't even see her name, but little lady, if you're asking what Ernie's theories are, well, you might as well start watching our channels because that's whose theories they are. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna do anything. He can go. We'll give him the credit. Hey, that's the government's man. He worked for the government. He worked for the CIA, Secret Service, FBI. He did time in the military. He did all this stuff. We'll give him his credits where credit are due, or props, or whatever that old saying is. But he's been out in left field while we've been doing the work. And all of a sudden he watches our channels and boom, I do believe it was an accident. And I do believe that Candace, well, come on, Debbie, come on. You have to admit, that's funny. It's funny. The case ain't funny. The summer missing ain't funny. But how he just claims everything is hilarious.
And
Right.
you would be surprised at all the stuff that I've got on Summer's map. But my main goal is to always find the missing, not so much the narrative, because if we really think about it, who all talked about the Hills, Paul Hill, and them being a suspect?
Right. I mean, that was just something that come in, and everybody's like, "Whoa!" See, in the Summer Wells case, there was a new character every week. It was like it was like watching a soap opera.
Mr. Shell, you are the one that the government wants. You'll be running for the rest of your life, even if the government says we don't want them. You're still going to be running. Believe me. You are the people that you hear this, Debbie? You hear this? How he turned it around that fast. And now it's all these other YouTubers, and this is just hilarious. This is hilarious. He'll be on the run the rest of his life.
It was like watching a soap opera on TV.
It's soap opera.
It's a
He's the soap
distraction,
opera.
really. I mean, there's a lot of distraction in all cases, especially when we, the people, get invested and we have our own opinions, we have our own perspectives, we have our own theories. Like, I totally get it. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just, more interested in facts. Like for the Hatfields and McCoys, like, what was it like stopping there and walking up to the property? Like, did they have, what was their thoughts? What were their feelings? Like, what was going on? Like, were the dogs meeting them, at the road? Like, what were the dogs like?
Well,
Did
you know
they
when
meet them when they got closer to the property? Like, there's so many questions I'd like to even ask them, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, I talked to Fred earlier on Facebook Messenger, and we pretty much agreed that we didn't want no drama with each other. We do have
Yeah.
different opinions, but you know, one thing he said, and you have to. Am I who is back feeding here? I believe it's fixed.
It could be
So
me. Let me make sure it's not me.
so one thing he said
Um,
though, one thing he
that's
said was the cadaver dogs. They were never
yeah,
the cadaver dogs were never there the first day. That destroyed everything. They were scent
yeah.
dogs. They were scent dogs. The sock that was used was never verified to be Summers. It was just a sock that was taken out. That's it.
Well, and in my opinion, we can't just always go off of what a canine says. I mean, you know, it's great to be, but he's right. Like
Well, this is up Debbie Spock's alley because she trains dogs. Remember? So, Debbie, is it possible these dogs went on the property and missed the scent? I gotta get rid of these people. That's someone said they're not going to come around till I get. What the heck? What is wrong with these people? All right, let's go on about this. Where were we? Oh, the cadaver dogs. Debbie's a trainer, so let's ask Debbie. Debbie, do you think these dogs missed the scent? You think all these dogs that were on there sniffing the scent led nowhere but down the hill, which her scent's going to be there because she lived there. You know, but people are that dumb where they can't figure it out. You know? Of course, the dogs picked up a scent. She lived there. Her scent was probably all over. I want to know what the bottom line was, what the investigators came to conclusion was, and what did they come to the conclusion? That there's no evidence the little girl was taken off of the property by anybody. Debbie says, can you imagine the smells depending on whose socks gave the dog? Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, we don't know if they all shared clothes with the boys, you know, with summer socks, whatever. We don't know. It's just, I'm just saying, when you have brothers and sisters and stuff, you end up wearing each other's clothes by accident or whatever. You know, well, at least if you're have brothers. You know, I didn't have a sister, so I don't think even if I had a sister, I don't think I'd be sharing clothes on her. Summer didn't really wear socks, so I don't understand the whole sock thing. Yeah. Well, they should have been looking for footprints, but if they had anything with her scent on, even if she didn't have socks on, they would have still picked up her scent. But the scent they picked up led to the bottom of the driveway and then ended, which that itself was kind of weird. You know? So I don't know. I don't know.
canine is only as good as their handler. And, there's always error. And we just, it just depends on what article of clothing they had. Like he said, was it taken from the hamper? If so, I mean, that's convoluted there,
100%. Now let me
Yeah.
ask you a question. What is your theory on these private investigators that pretty much gatekeep Candace and Dawn? And they're supposed to be doing a
Yeah, Miss ATS News. It led down a trail to the driveway or whatever, to the road, and then disappeared. How old was that scent? I don't know. You'd have to pull up old records. How long was it before it rained out there? Did it rain? That also might cover up a scent. I heard there was also, they tracked it to the river, to the creek behind the house or whatever, and it ended. And that's where this story that Mr. Ernie Shell came up with I don't know if you guys remember that because everybody goes dumb when you try and message or talk about it. Ernie Shell said that he knew exactly what happened this summer. The dogs tracked it to the creek, and that's where she was essayed and then hit with a hammer, supposedly, and killed. You remember that story? Do you guys remember that story? That he knew what happened to her, and as she was being essayed, she was hit with a hammer and taken from there or something. There's been so many stories. It's too much.
Public service. But as a former private investigator, I never had a case or a client that I gatekeep. You know,
Yeah.
I never did say, you can talk to this law enforcement, you can talk to this or this person here, but we all know that they do that. So
Yeah.
why do they do that for?
I don't know.
I mean, don't that make sense? I mean, look, when you get involved with something,
Well, Debbie,
if you're
If it doesn't work for you, we
to be honest,
promise 10 times your money back. This product works in just 1 second to fit perfectly and is suitable for everyone. Simply soak it in hot water to activate the elastic material and have your new dentures. We promise to
that's what Trudy.
Debbie, we don't know what actually piece of article they had to give to try and track her. We really don't know what they used. You know, so, but you could be right about that, you know. And Debbie says, and if they did follow that scent to the edge of the yard, now whose sock or whose pizza clothing did they give the dog? Like, did know if they gave a sock, who said sock in the first place? Well, we don't know. You know, we just don't know. To see a shirt or undies is closest to the body, socks, and yeah. But we really don't know because we weren't there, and you would have to probably call TMI or whatever it is, and ask what happened, or the federal government, and ask, you know, what did you guys use to try and track her?
He does with Candace. It's like she's
Yeah.
all hers. And one thing it got me, the phone call that was made. Candace walked in the house. We don't know what Candace said when she first called her. We don't have no idea. No idea whatsoever what she even said.
I mean, Candace was the last one to be with her. And is it a coincidence that her sister is missing too, never to be found? Is that just a coincidence? I mean, I've got a lot of questions about the whole, I harp on Sherfy Jr. Like, he has been one of my main, suspects, him, because of his he's just nasty.
Right. And I understand that. But everybody in this case has got some sort of twisted, demented, like just some kind of creepy era about them.
Mhm.
Like, everybody on that hill, to me, it's like to say that everybody around the area and on the hill are pedophiles or got something to
Yeah.
do with that.
Oh my God, are you hearing this? Ernie, you lived by them on that hill. You know, everybody that's got anything to do with this case on that hill seems like a pedophile. You live there, you idiot. You're all. And this is why I have a feeling this country is in such bad shape. It's so already shady, the whole thing. Oh yeah. Those cops should have been allowed to take the clothing from the hamper, so we would know whose clothes it was. Well, did you see all the clothes? It was just a pile of clothes. All their clothes probably were mixed in there, Debbie. kid, you know, the boys, Don's, Candace's. Yeah. I'm telling you, I feel bad for Don and Candace that this happened. You know, and I threw another thing out there. This might have been payback because they keep running their mouths about some cornbread mafia that lives on top of the mountain out there or whatever in them hills of Tennessee, the cornbread mafia. And if you notice, when Dr. Phil questioned her about the cornbread mafia, she didn't. No, I don't want to talk about it. She started crying, getting mad. Well, maybe because they've been talking about it on social media for I don't know how long, throwing gang signs, talking about the cornbread mafia. And maybe the cornbread mafia said, these people got big mouths. I mean, you have to look at this that way. All right, Don saying, well, there was there's big drugs in this area. You know, well, yeah, you know, no. I'm blaming the Mexican mafia, blaming all these other organizations. You know, I don't know. It don't seem right to me. Does it make sense to you, Debbie? I think they did this to themselves. Candace is a perv. I believe she was doing those young boys properly. I'm not, you know, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Like I said, they've been on the show and all them people for a long time. That's probably why Candace didn't want Don talking on the phone. Remember when they were talking and Candace, you can hear Candace in the background, get off the dang phone. Don't be talking to him. Don't be talking to anybody. Probably because they knew they were possibly being tapped because it just didn't add up. Candace is, I believe, sick. Yeah, I would imagine you'd have to be that. The way they lived, it's possibly diseased.
Yeah, they're all just Jack Nasty, you know, in my opinion. But
Right,
it is
right,
what
right.
it is, you know. And so where is Summer? And it's like, okay, so are we gonna? I think that it's great that there's boots on the ground. You know, I like to see boots on the ground. I like to see people looking for the missing instead of just talking shit online. You know, to actually see some actual, you know, productivity instead of, you know, we can all just create drama and, you know, live in. Somebody said I was living in I don't know what they said, but it was some kind of derogatory. But that's something, you know, that I see a lot of too. Is just so many juveniles that are not adding any type of, you know, productivity to a case. They're just taking away. But it's just a bunch of distractions. And then you got people even out of country. I mean, they never even come and do boots on the ground, put out flyers, nothing, just run
Right.
their mouth. And it's just,
Right.
you know, it's pretty sad. But
So
I mean, again, though, Ernie, like, how many people talked about the Hill residents?
Mhm.
How many
So-
people?
I mean,
All these
I mean,
YouTubers. How many people, you know, said that they were one of their main suspects?
well,
The FBI
you know,
had them.
with Fred and all that, you know, things have come out that says, hey, it's some of his family, you know, it's a 3500 block of Van Hill Road, all that. So
Yeah.
we don't know exactly, and here's what I'm hoping and praying. We don't exactly know exactly what they did. We don't, because nothing, you know, it was put out there that they was there, they visited, they did some kind of search or something, but we don't know exactly what happened, okay? We don't.
Right. Don't
Now,
know.
Let me ask you a question, and we're going to move on a little bit, but let me ask you a question. What is your opinion on the timeline that I'm putting together, that our team Unlock Your Reality and Operation Rescue Our Children are putting together right now.
What's the timeline?
But it's not your timeline. It's our timeline that we worked to put together, that we said from the beginning never added up. It's not your timeline. What do you think right now, the timeline I put together, me and my team on this channel? I think it's bullcrap. It's mine and a couple other people's. Not yours. But we'll give it to you because we're giving you this last hoorah. Okay, being that we found out that you're filing for veterans, that's the only reason most of us men went into that channel to try and save him, because we thought he was a real vet. We thought he was a real vet. Once we found out it was a bunch of bullcrap, that he never served in a wartime, never went out of this country, none of it added up, and he was released, discharged. Do you see me in his chat? That was 5 years ago, people. You haven't seen me in his chat since. I went in to do a job. My job was to go in. We thought he was a vet. He was under attack by a bunch of crazy broads and their boyfriends, and they gave him the sickness, and he needed help. After we found out that it was just a bunch of crap, we all pulled out. We hated to, because we hate to leave people behind. But sometimes you have no choice. Orders are orders. No, let's get back to this.
About what we said about the swimming hole and about how we think that, she never, it all started from the swimming hole. And I believe that I don't believe Hunter made it to her. I don't believe Hunter made it to her. I believe it was an accident. I do now. And I never have said this before until now. I do believe it was some sort of an accident. But I believe after the accident, Candace, Grandis, and Dawn covered it up. I do believe that. I don't believe she ever left the truck. There's things that they wanted to involve. And here's something else too. They wanted to involve.
All right, let's get this straight. I was never in the military. My family was. My friends are. I was never in the military. I've stated that numerous times. Although I still look out for people that are in the military, because my family, grandfather, uncles were in the military. So when we heard that something was going on and he claimed he was a VA vet, help him. A couple of us went in that were not United States soldiers to try and save something. And there's nothing wrong with being a patriot. I fall under the Patriot Act. Some people are very proud that I went into his chat to try and tell his people to get him help. What was his rank and what base was he stationed at, and what and what did we find out? His people said he's got no people. He's got nobody. It's all an act. He's lying. He's on the run. That's when we decided some of the people that were not military. They were not military guys. Some of them were. But once they found out it was stolen valor, everybody backed out. And that's all I'm saying. I'm a patriot. I never served one day in this military. My family did. And I'm proud of it. And they don't leave people behind. And people that were raised by these military people, well, we don't leave people behind. So I know the government wants me in the military, wants me to work with them, but I got this whole YouTube thing going now. Let's get back to this.
The boys so bad. They wanted to involve the boys to put them into play. Criminals, when they do something, they have to revolve around other people. They have to bring other people into it to get it off them, right?
Right.
So if I'm sitting here and the light is shining all on me, and I don't want to be in the spotlight, I've got to go into the shade. But guess what? I've got to pull somebody in to take my place. And that's what they did.
So you think the boys will eventually just tell that that was all a lie?
I believe that eventually something may come out with that.
I don't think
But
they know the difference. They were
I
just
don't
told
think
they
so.
were last to see her. Like
Yes,
they
yes.
probably don't know the
Oh, well, they will
difference at
definitely
all.
old enough to know if they saw their sister or not.
Okay, but in a traumatic event and your mom's coming in telling you where'd Summer go, those boys aren't going to remember if they saw her or not. If they said, no, we didn't see her, they're certainly not going to say, they're probably going to question it for the rest of their lives. If it didn't even happen and she never walked by them, it's kind of actually.
Now, I agree with Mrs. TM about this. If this family, the parents, came up with this giant story and then said, right, kids? And the kids said something different, that's not what. Well, now these kids are going with the guilt of their family saying, you have to say this, you have to do this, you have to do that, knowing that they seen something different. And what does that do on a child? I'll tell you what, it really, really plays a toll on a child's mind. I've been there before. I know what they're talking about, these doctors and stuff. When you see something at a young age and you know what you've seen, but you're being told, you don't say nothing. You got to say this, yada yada yada. That plays a toll on a child. And I remember when they talked to Don, and he was standing there with his the oldest blonde-haired one, and Don said something, and the kid put his head down in almost like guilt or disgrace, right? Because Don was saying, "Well, we left Summer with the boys," and the boy put his head down, and that was a sign to me that either he's being blamed for something he had nothing to do with, or the parents' story was true, and Summer was left in charge or the boys were left in charge of Summer, and something bad happened to Summer. Not being taken, stolen. Something bad happened to her while she was at home. And that's the only other way they would feel guilty like that, to put their head down after he said that. Either the kid was feeling a lot of guilt that this happened as an accident or something, but to me it seemed weird.
Really abusive to do to kids, because no, they actually wouldn't be like, oh, we were last to see Summer. That's what they're gonna
Yeah, I
think
think
for the
those
rest
kids are
of their
smart
life.
enough. I think that they're smart enough to know what is true and what's not. I think that
So you think that on
if
their
that theory
regular
is
day
right,
when their games
I mean,
were
it's
in
just
their
my opinion.
faces,
It
you
was
just
said
my
you're
opinion.
new and you don't even know the players, so I
Oh,
don't
I
even
didn't, honey.
know.
I didn't say I was new. No,
Yeah, you did when you
that's
came
not
up.
true.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, Jess from Planetary Design.
Why even
Let's let
talk about the boys?
I mean, 3 or 4 years, and I've mapped the shit out of Summer.
I really
So,
don't
I
care
mean,
about your maps, okay?
you know what? You're rude as hell.
I don't really
Okay, so
care.
let's have a conversation, guys. Let's get off this fact. Let's get
Yeah,
back to the
let's not
timeline.
talk about the boys. How about
And
we
I
protect
understand that
them?
point. Uh,
'Cause I'm
okay,
sick
so
and tired of people.
Woo-wee. I can tell you what, I ain't the smartest tool in the shed, but I smell me a cat fight coming, or one of these women getting upset here real soon. I'm gonna make a cup of tea. Debbie, you want to take over here for a minute? Debbie says, "Oh my God, oh yeah, wait, Debbie, it gets better. It gets better. We're gonna move on. No, we're not gonna talk about military. These idiots are trying to get me to say I'm in the military so they can say stolen valor. But these idiots don't know that I was never in the military. No, hold on a minute, Debbie. Take over here for a minute." had to put some tea in the microwave.
People bringing up the boys. They're online, Ernie.
I understand that. Now, going back, what's your opinion on Hunter?
Who, mine?
Yeah. He's old enough now. He's accountable.
I think that Hunter has been corrupted.
Okay.
So I don't think that even Hunter might be able to, just like I said, with the boys, it's no different. Traumatic experiences can wipe your whole fucking brain out. Like, you don't even know what day things happened on, what you saw, if it was starting with the milk, even starting with Hunter not remembering having the milk. It's stuff like that, little things like the milk was there, right? But Hunter doesn't remember. He doesn't remember having the milk on his lap like his mom said he did. Stuff like that, right? That lady wasn't listening to me. And the reason I was the way I was is because she wouldn't shut up to listen to what I'm fucking saying. Because they are.
Well, what do you think of that, Debbie? I mean, he was a lot older than Summer. So he probably would have been able to deal with traumatic stuff a little bit better. But he even got his own story mixed up. He even changed his story, Debbie.
Old enough. Number one, yeah, they're old enough, they're smart enough. But when you are living in an abusive fucking household and you've got parents telling you that you were last to see your sister, where is she?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's going to matter that happened before that to them.
Okay.
They were laying on the bed playing their games, allegedly, right?
Right.
So understand what I mean. 5 years later, the TBI has questioned the boys. The boys have probably told them everything they possibly know.
And we don't, and you're right. But none of us know that. And that's the thing. We don't know that.
I think that they've been away from the wells long enough that if something crazy happened or went down in front of them, something would have come of that. That's why also, too, I think it lends credibility to the fact that it wasn't like some, massacre up there. The boys definitely would have told if they would have told someone. It's been 5 years. They're around other kids. They're around other people.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Well, the only ones that the kids probably would have told is if they were questioned by police or psychologists. See, sometimes police will use psychiatrists, doctors, to get answers because they can't talk to them, right? They're minors or whatever. So what they'll do is they'll wait for a doctor to talk to them, because I'm sure these kids have seen the psychiatrist after this, and they'll get things. Psychiatrists will get things out of people, which is crazy. It was like Dr. Phil, right? What is he? He's like a psychiatrist. Dr. Phil was talking to John Bonet's brother, and he was getting stuff out of him, that we didn't know. So, a psychiatrist, if they were talking to a psychiatrist, then maybe they opened up and said something. So the only person that probably would really know is either a psychiatrist or the authorities. Debbie said buying him cigarettes, alcohol. Yeah, he knew exactly what was going on. You know, and then you have to look at Hunter's parents and, you know, Andrew. Andrew claims he's gang all the way or whatever, mobster or whatever. You know, so I'm sure Hunter grew up with a bunch of arguments. Well, did you hear him talk to his mother when he was being questioned by Chris? He was telling her to shut up or something. No, you don't. You don't know nothing. You know, and I was like that when I was growing up. I was possessed. Still am, probably by some of these YouTubers. Yeah, it's crazy. Valdez says Candace is scary looking.
Believe they're in other parents' homes when they visit their friends. From what I hear, they have friends they hang out with. Yeah, I just really think that the boys are being taken care of, right? Thank God.
I believe they're in a better situation. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
but
I
I
honestly believe that.
absolutely believe if something awful happened in their presence, they would have never kept it a secret. No,
They
I don't
they
believe
will
that.
keep it a secret if a lot of abused children still love their parents.
I
And
just
the other
think that's been pretty broken is all. And they were separated as well. So like there's a lot that plays into my thinking. I could be completely wrong. Like
well,
maybe
as
they
far
will
as
never say a word, but I just don't think that it's true.
as far as trauma, I worked as a nurse, and I not the smartest cracker in the box, but
A
I do
trauma nurse, like physical trauma or mental trauma?
mental trauma.
Oh,
And I was a
okay.
physical nurse. I worked several different places. But what I found out through my own experience with my
No,
own
no, no. What
children,
I was asking you was, were you a trauma nurse, like in the ICU, or were you like
no, I
like
wasn't in ICU.
a
No, I
mental
taught
health hospital?
mental health.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, this lady on panel is claiming that she worked for a mental hospital, so she would know what she's walking into, right? I mean, you would think she would know what she's walking into. Valdez once again says she scares me as an adult. No, Valdez, I've seen some videos of Candace on YouTube, and I'm telling you, what did Don and Candace look like? They were possessed, conjured up something, demon, something very twisted, very. Weren't they hitting each other? Didn't Don smack her in the face while she was sitting down on a chair, and she looked possessed? You know, I don't know what did this, what caused this is my question. You know, was Don conjuring up something? I know it sounds crazy. Were these people conjuring something, and they couldn't put the genie back in the bottle? Much like the most scariest wicked man in the world, they said. I forget what his name was. He had a bald head, and he was crazy. He was crazy, and they claim he was into that dark art stuff and had orgies, sex with kids, sex with everybody. It was just crazy. He was like the Messiah, and he conjured up this demon. But then the demon started tearing his world apart. Well, it started tearing his whole world apart. The family dying, him getting sick. It just, yeah. Well, I'm starting to believe in that stuff. You know. Debbie says, "I was what? Who has balls like that? I don't know." A woman from down the road came in while Candace was sleeping and had sex with him. Yeah, this is crazy. You know, all the signs that they said that were out there about for sale, and then sex here on the side of the shed. And that was the place where they would take Summer to do bad things. This is just crazy.
Okay, so I'm glad that we have a professional here too about
Right?
that, because that happens to be big that's a big involvement
Yeah,
on
what
the
was did
after
her
part
mic
of
cut
everything.
out?
No, I can hear you. It's just this.
No,
This
first
freaking,
did her mic cut out? Because it sounded like it just cut. Like she
are
was
you there,
talking and cut.
Karen? Are you there?
Oh my God, it's probably the StreamYard, Ernie.
So M9. I just want to know about Ernie. How are you? Listen, I've gave you the link to come back up here. I want to hear what you have to say before anybody says anything to you. I want to hear what you have to say, why you come up with the ideas that you come up with, what you did, and all that. I need to know. I need to know. Can you still hear me, Tiff?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I hate this StreamYard.
I think she
destroying
just tried
everything.
to come back.
All right, now here we go. We're going to be introducing Mrs. M9, right? She's the one that claims Ernie was living with her, and there's never been any kids or anything on her property or any kids in the shed. But Ernie was living with her. She's not saying it was Ernie, but after Ernie left, she found a pair of girl shorts, possibly Summers, she said. But then she changed her story a little bit and said, well, I'm not sure if they're Summers, but there's kids, and Ernie left and I found them in there, and she's preserved them for the past, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, who knows? So this is interesting. So we'll get to that here real soon. Debbie says, with a stick. Don't forget the fridge. Summer liked to hide it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Don said he had a stick and would tap on the side of it.
Back up too, and we couldn't hear her because she dropped down, so she'll probably come back up. I think she was having trouble with it too.
So by having a professional, I love that. I love having a professional on with us. That way because they know they have the training for it. They've been through it for years. Now,
Well, a trauma nurse may observe for years. Doesn't mean they've ever been through trauma in their life, really. You gotta have,
well, I understand that. I want to see it through. It's not
I
that these
know.
investigators put all they have in it. It's because they only can do so much. And they know that. They work 8 or 10 hours, they're done. They're done for the day. But somebody
Right.
with true heart and passion carries on. Now, hold on one second.
Exactly right.
Thank you. Hold on one second. Em, you're up here. What do you have to say? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
you can hear her.
Barely.
Ernie, tell her to get rid of those earbuds. Tell her to take those out.
Do you have earbuds? Em,
Just
do you
get
have
rid of
earbuds?
whatever she's using because nobody is.
You need to take the what? You need to take the earbuds out.
Okay, she'll lift her phone up off her shirt or something. I think it's in her shirt, maybe.
Is your phone under your shirt? 140 hails and 10 chickens and 3 roosters without a comb. I mean, what? Is your phone under your shirt? Are you trying to disguise your voice, Em?
No.
Okay, so speak up.
I'm trying to do first.
So for once, I decided to click on.
I don't want this derailed. And that's what she did. I knew when she
Well,
come up.
do you
it
feel
would be
that this
derailed.
is derailed, Ernie, when this has been going on?
Derailed. All right, so I skipped forward a little bit because Mrs. M9 has introduced herself into the case by saying that she found shorts after Ernie left her house. They used to date. And after he left, she found a pair of shorts. Mrs. TM is trying to say that this woman is an ex-lover of Ernie's and she's just trying to get Ernie back and she's jealous, whatever. This is going to get crazy here. I just want to prepare you folks. How many roosters? I don't know, 40 hell roosters, which could be real. these roosters in hell could be real. But only Mr. Shell would know that because he's been there many times. So, all right, so we're going to get into this. This is unbelievable. Just incriminating.
On for multiple nights, and every single night this is an issue and it hasn't been rectified yet. So like,
Well, let me
what
ask
do
you a
we
question.
do? Do we just drop it so that Ernie's live stream doesn't get derailed, or do
No.
we deal
Well, let me
with
ask you a
it?
question. Well, let me
Why
ask you a
don't
question,
people
Jeff.
want to fucking deal with anything anymore?
Because
They just
there
want
are
to
people.
sweep it under the fucking rug so that nothing gets answered. This weird ass shit goes on. You got weirdos running around who transport kids, watch little kids, and let pickers come get them. What is happening? I've never heard such craziness in my life. And this woman, for whatever reason, she comes up here, can talk perfectly fine. She can
Ooh,
turn on her.
doggy. See, I told you guys, you don't want to get her upset. If you notice, there's no way Ernie Shell is going to talk over Mrs. TM. He said chickens. I don't know how many chickens there is in hell. I have no idea, Debbie. He said 40 hellfires and 40 chicken hells or whatever. I don't know. Debbie says TM is pissed. Oh, yeah, you don't want to get her mad. Sweet Jesus. You go, girl. This is bullshit. Oh, it's crazy.
Camera, everything's fine. And then you start talking to her and she drops off. We leave, she drops off. No
Well, you
matter
see what
we do
happened.
for her.
Listen, did you notice when you named the pedophilia stuff? She was gone.
I didn't name. How could I name pedophilia anything? I don't know shit about that world. I don't.
I know that,
fuck
but
with
did
that
you
shit.
notice when you said the word pedophilia, she was gone?
I don't think I actually said the word. I tried to say.
She didn't say the word pedophilia. Ernie's trying to come up with it. When you just said pedophilia, she left. I never said pedophilia. TM's right. She never did. But see, Ernie's so quick at well, this is why she keeps splitting and going or whatever, is because TM's saying something and it's spooking this lady because this lady is a trafficker. And it just goes on and on and on. It's just crazy. And I am Nick's girl. I don't know. My mental illness will not allow me to watch too much of this stuff.
Try to stay away from that word. So I don't think I actually said that word.
You said something about it and she was gone.
I said unsavory things or something like.
I don't know what you said, but it was something. But anyways. So.
This is just very messy. Where is Tina? I really feel like I don't give a fuck what the chat says about me. I just want everyone to know, like, you can type the whole night away, and I'm never going to see what you're writing if you're talking shit. I don't care. I can't focus on a chat. I'm in my own mind. That's enough for me to just be in my own mind and talk to Ernie on the panel. If you don't like me, I don't know what to tell you.
Renee, it's okay.
Purpose.
Listen, Renee, it's okay.
I have a fucking purpose. Renee, you have been a snake for years. Just shut up. Okay, where is her boyfriend? What's that guy's name again? Renee, go back to Paulie or whatever the fuck his name was.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Jesus. I'm so sick of these assholes. They contribute fucking nothing either. Like, just shut up, Renee. Shut up. God, I don't even fucking bother you. I'm up here doing something, trying to get answers for something. Fuck off. Okay? Just fuck right the fuck off. I'm so tired. These assholes that sit in the chat, they don't even know what they're talking about half the time.
Okay, fine.
Okay, it's M9.
Here's
Thank
Miss
God.
M9.
Well, she came back. Hi.
I'm in the chat.
Mysterious woman. Debbie, can you hear me?
Ernie, M9 is back.
M9. No one's ever seen her. Very mysterious.
All right. Can you hear Ernie?
I'm not talking. I'm letting her talk.
Oh,
quiet.
she's talking to
Shh.
you. Okay.
Don't spook her away. They're very,
Is
very
Renee in here?
spooky.
She's in the chat.
Debbie, who is this mysterious M9?
Okay, so M9, is the stuff that Ernie is saying accurate? There she goes. That's so weird, Ernie. This is very weird. It's leaving such a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, you can leave it. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's going to be derailed, people.
Why did
People
she?
like
That's what Ernie's last girlfriend said. He left a bad taste in her mouth. Okay, let's go on. Listen.
Come back wearing like
she's got people
like
with her, Tia.
fucking green fluffy
Listen to me.
shit.
She's got
Weird.
people. She's got people with her.
She looks like she's alone and has way too much time on her hands, if you ask me.
She's got her
I
eyes
still have
looking around.
sunglasses on my head right now. Like I'm like, what the fuck's she doing?
Fuzzy
Ernie.
cheese, Renee. I got my fuzzy cheese, my fuzzy red cheese. Oh, I'm back. Holy shit.
The Brondell non-electric Swash Eco Seat provides a freshwater wash and a refreshing bathroom experience. The Eco Seat fits most
Stupid
toilets
today.
and is easily installed in minutes.
What does that say? Well, this whole thing has gone right down the toilet.
Listen,
What's
I'm
what's
not
up?
into all
Uh-oh.
this
What's up, man?
weird
Here
ass
comes
shit,
man-
This is weird
man
ass
woman.
shit.
What's up?
Here
So
comes
for
man
once, I
woman.
decided to click on one of
Oh,
your
God.
videos, and
Jesus.
what do I see? Of course, Ernie, you're unable to maintain frame on the panel. You
Yeah, I
are
know.
arguing with this beautiful lady, Tiffany Marie, on panel.
I'm not
And
arguing
all
with
of
her.
these people in the side chat are being mean to TM.
Yeah,
It's
I know
okay. I
that.
don't
And I,
even
and I,
I don't even look.
son
I
of a
swear to
bitch,
God,
man.
TM,
You know, dude, listen,
now,
guys.
wait a minute. Hold
I'm
on.
just trying to
Hold
get high
on.
real quick.
Hold on.
Talk about them.
Hold on. Oh, hello. Hi, beautiful. What is this? Mime? Are we miming?
Oh,
Is
God,
this,
I probably
is this like a
lost
mime
sound.
game?
No, all right,
I'm not the
sorry,
only one that
sorry.
cams up. Yeah,
I'll
serious.
tell you. Oh,
I'm
thank
the only one that cams
God.
up. Fine.
Tina, thank you.
All right. All I
Yeah,
want to
scare
say,
yourself.
Ernie, and I'm going to
Hey,
get off the
Melissa,
panel,
how are you?
is I need y'all to lock it in. Lock it
This is
in
crazy.
and
Can
let
somebody cam up besides
Man,
me?
let
woman,
Holistic
just lock it
Empire
in.
perform nipple to nipple on you ladies. All right?
This is unbelievable. You know there's something up when man woman comes in. This guy is, what's his name, Kevin? Catalina or something like that, Debbie? I'm not sure, but this guy was a man, but now he got a sex change and he's actually a woman now. How Gardner? I'm not sure. I don't know. Put your glasses on. You can't spell. You can't see your typing thing, your little key thing. Good God. Well, good God is right. So we enter into the world of Miss M9, who's now holding this whole case in her hands. And she's leaned back in what looks like a reclining chair with what appears to be a lady's robe that's very low cut. She's got her hair up in a bun, glasses on, and she's now has taken over this whole scenario right now. She holds the key because this is the lady that said Ernie lived with her, was with her, Ernie left, and she found a pair of kid shorts, possibly Summers, in the shed. And this is unbelievable. Let's get back to this.
I'm in
There
the
you
car.
go.
But look, hello.
All right. Now go see a dentist, Holistic Empire. Thank you. Have a
Shut the
great night.
fuck up. Go find your dick. Shut
Go
up.
see a grill first. Or go see a dentist. Go see it.
Yeah.
And give me a grill. You know.
Fucking yeah. Whatever.
All right, here
Would you like
comes
to
Miss
know?
Tina
Okay.
Hemstreet.
Look, it's him though. I like
This whole
X
thing
Factor a
gets
lot.
crazy.
I remember X Factor.
Way sidetracked, way off course. Just unbelievable.
What a delay.
How are you doing?
So I asked him to call me so I could figure out the delay, but no, nothing.
Yeah. Well,
I was talking
you know,
about
Ernie,
because
he doesn't call like if he doesn't want to talk to you. He's like that. So, can I ask you some questions?
do you like my glasses, Ernie, at all? Why don't you come up?
M9, are you able to hear Tina that's talking to you or no? Sometimes the panel fucks up.
Okay, I'll try. I'll have to pause.
Are you able?
Sat bad in the bedroom.
Listen, I don't give a fuck about your sexual life, okay? Can you hear Tina?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, Jesus.
Can you hear me?
She likes to play games that you never do now, Tina.
Yeah. Hey, remember when you picked Ernie up at the bus station?
Yes.
Yes. What, after he left Tampa? Did you pick him up in North Carolina?
I suppose.
So is he telling the truth that you guys went to a anti-human trafficking conference?
Yes.
Are you the one who actually paid for the trip to New York?
No, I didn't pay for any trip to New York.
Who did he tell you paid for the trip to New York?
He never told me anybody paid for a trip. We never talked about New York.
I just remember hearing you tell him to stop saying that he was being paid by the Republican. I guess. No. So were you one of the ones that was acting like
talk about New York.
Ernie's been telling people. She told me I had to stop. It's the Republican Party that's keeping me quiet. Come on, Debbie, that's funny. He comes up with the great. This lady, this woman here, told Ernie that he has to be quiet about talking about stuff because something to do with the Republican Party that she was with. This just keeps getting better and better. There's no end to it. No end to it. I think Bill Dez is right. This case probably will never close. 20 years from now, we'll be talking about it.
Were you one of the ones acting like a stripper when he first got picked up?
No, of course not.
No.
You're not a stripper. Know that.
No, remember he was acting like he was at a strip club? Was that all a LARP?
No.
No? Were y'all at a strip club?
No.
No? So that wasn't you?
It wasn't with her, Tina.
That wasn't with her?
No.
Okay, because everybody speculated that was her all along.
Tina.
That's why I'm at.
That was that other little hot cake that used to run around with Ernie's show. That was acting like a stripper, dancing around and everything. That was that little other saucy hot pepper that he was with. Who was? Who? There was a couple women. This just
asking.
Tina, this is the one that had.
I know who this is.
For sure.
All right.
I know exactly who this is.
All right.
So what's up with these shorts?
He was talking about something at the time. Something. Yeah.
Ernie says
I'm
that
a
you
nice
watch
person.
over little girls and then you let
Do
people
what?
come and get 'em.
Do what?
You know,
Can you-
I thought about it and it's child exploitation, and I don't want to do that at all. And I apologize, Candace. I do apologize. And
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I literally just.
what she said. I don't know if you folks could hear what she said. She said, you know what? I decided I don't want to be a part of child exploiting. So what do I take from that? That she's probably was talked into this and she's now realizing she don't want to be a part of this. Why? Because they're exploiting the child. Miss M9 just blew the case wide open. Whoever that little lady was, I decided I don't want to be a part of child exploitation. And she dropped off. Who put her up to this? Is my question. This is bombshell. This is daisy cutter through a bunker. Nothing. And they're all, what are they doing? They're all flipping out now. What the? Yeah.
I said,
Just said, Candace, I apologize. What the fuck?
okay, this is
Liberty Bibberty. That's my name. I tell everyone it feels great getting great coverage and savings on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Liberty Bibberty. Don't overdo it. Great coverage, great savings.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
Bibberty.
Yeah. Oh, it's you.
I mean, and no, I did not.
All right. Well, there was a phone call that was FOIA'd when she called you, where she was
It has
saying
nothing to do with Ernie, and I would never want to exploit a child. Last comment. I'm so sorry. To Don as well. So sorry.
Do you know them personally?
I do not know Candace Wells or Don personally. I don't have to apologize.
I know.
For, child exploitation, which I know of now because Ernie talked about it in a not so far off live, that if you say something about a child like that, then you are exploiting them. And I didn't know anything about it. I make no money off of YouTube at this time. So I'm not into child exploitation at all. And I've learned my lesson. I have nothing else to say about it. And I apologize sincerely.
Lesson.
Were you just making it up?
she keeps dropping herself. She'll talk and then leave.
Oh my God, this is just crazy. Debbie, can you explain to me what they're doing here? I have to say, women go to Ernie and it all comes out. I don't know. That is just crazy. She is saying she don't want to be a part of this child exploitation because what are they doing? They're making money off of it. What did she just say? Miss M9 blows the case wide open. She don't make money on YouTube. A lot of us don't. We're not on YouTube for money. Hell, I didn't even know I could make my, excuse my language, Lord. She don't want to be a part of it. What is going on? You know? That's pretty crazy. She apologizes to Don and Candace, and she dips off a panel. Right? She learned, what did she say? She learned her lesson. She don't want no part of this. She don't want. You know, I don't know how these women get, you know. Kevin's on panel. Kevin's a man now again. Why does he still have breasts? I mean, that he's not going to pull this off, Debbie. Kevin's not going to pull off saying he's a man now when he's got breasts bigger than these women. I'll tell you, this whole thing went sour somewhere. She learned her lesson from what? Well, she figures out she don't want to be a part of this. She's been playing a role. She just admitted, no, it wasn't her that picked up Ernie yet. No, it wasn't her, the stripper. No, she didn't know anything about New York. No. And this is just a bombshell. Bombshell, which we said from the whole time is this is crazy. I might need protection. Debbie, someone get a hold of the White House. I gotta up my security. I really do. I mean, we're just blowing holes in cases, and a lot of big
I know.
dogs.
Were you just
mad-
making it up though?
Come back up. What the fuck? This StreamYard's fucked, guys.
No, she's dropping herself.
I said what I needed to say.
Who are the children you're
Vaguely,
watching?
you're vaguely saying what you need to say, but
Ernie
um,
said that you watch
They'll rerun
little
it 100
children
times,
and let
Donna
people
Kent.
come and pick them.
I said what I
What
needed
is
to
he
say, and
talking about?
sincerely, I apologize.
What are you apologizing for, though?
I am not dropping her, people. God damn it, I am not dropping her. Tiff, can you please tell them I am not dropping her?
Ernie's dropping her.
he's not dropping her.
Oh, you know, once again, I think it's horrible. Summer Wells is the only one that continues the 5 years to suffer from this. But I think it's hilarious what's going on because I bet you Ernie's dropping her. And then you hear him go, I am not dropping her. I'm almost like this child is not slipping through my hands. I'm not dropping her. Tell him, Tiff. Tell him. I'm not dropping her. The whole thing is. Am I reading this wrong, Debbie? If there's anybody out there, can you tell me if I'm reading this wrong? Debbie says his name is Kevin and he switched back now. So now he has a penis and no breast. He's a man. He got his penis back. Did they save his old penis and then sew it back on? How long has it been? How long has it been a girl? Can they do that? They deep freeze it or something? That's pretty crazy if you ask me, but let's get back into this.
Sick shit right here. Anyways,
Is she a victim of Epstein's for real? Is that what you were saying?
The people that's associated, if you look into the South Carolina people, that's representatives and stuff that were brought out in the Epstein stuff, they are on the list.
What the fuck were you doing hanging out with these people?
She used to be different.
Well, apparently.
Tina's asking, what do you got? They turn inside out. I don't want to hear about that. It's sick. 40 hellfires and 60 wild hell chickens and 30 hellhounds. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I can't believe these people are even investigators.
Apparently not, because the Epstein files are years old.
She used to be a lot different. She didn't get tangled up with them until late. Real late.
After Epstein.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Kramer has solved another case, all connected back to, well, of course, probably, Ernie Shell was Trump's right-hand man, although Cohen came out and said, we have no record of who hell Ernie Shell is, let alone Ernie Depp Feldman Max Shell. And there's no records of anything. But yet Ernie was Trump's right-hand man. And now everything is playing in the role, right? Now, where's that connection? Well, that connection had to be Epstein Island. And it just gets, yeah. And we solved another one here. Debbie, what do you think? Debbie says, what the F were you doing around these people? Yeah, that's what Tina asked him. Ernie, well, she wasn't like that back then. She was a real nice lady. But, well, we were protecting people from Epstein Island. Are you kidding me? This is just
Him, like, offed himself?
I don't know anything about it, Tina. I gave you the part that I know. Back when I worked with combating human trafficking in 17, 18, and 19, and 20, there was leads.
back when he worked. 2017, 18, 19, and 20. Are you kidding me? There's no record of anything, but Cohen's came out and actually did a video for Trump's lawyer. We have no record of this man even existing other than in his own brain.
There was runs, there was meals, there was freaking God almighty. There were nests, there were all kinds of shit. One was in North Carolina or New York. You know the one about New York we busted.
Yes.
You know about that one.
And she was involved with that?
No. But they travel in rings. You have to understand the Johnson City, the Winged Deer Park, all of that, the Asheville, North Carolina, all that. There's a lot that goes into this. Now, I didn't know she would become who she become. I did not know that. But her apologizing, I don't even know what that's about.
She became it or always was it, is the real question.
She became it. It's not looking bad on me. I'm exposing it. It ain't looking bad on me. It ain't looking bad on me at all.
Well, why didn't you come out?
Well, I know that, Debbie, because there was rumors that there was something between them, that he used to stay with her also, right? And what did I hear in that whole thing is Tina sounded kind of jealous, asking questions of the other woman. Were you the one that was with him that night when he was at the strip bar? Excuse me. Questioning her, breaking her down underneath the hot light, almost like a jealous girlfriend. Ex-lover. But we all know that's not true. But it did seem that way. Like if I was dating Mrs. Tina, I probably would be crapping because she's like, well, what were you doing with this thing? Were you the one he was with that night? And well, I don't know. This is crazy. I mean, this. I'll tell you what. We all might be going to a psychiatrist after this case. That's no joke. And the government's going to have to pay for our meds because we told the government, told you so, you idiots. I've been watching Ernie for I don't know how many years.
Out exposing it. She was talking to you in the jail. And she reassured you that she wouldn't give them your phone. Why did they never come back for the electronics?
Do what?
In that FOIA call. There is a FOIA call where she's talking to you and she says that she didn't give them like a phone that was under a couch or some shit. I can't remember exactly. It's been so long. I'm sure somebody's got it though. They're going to pull it up now.
Okay, they pull it up. I don't have nothing to hide, Tina. Nothing.
Why did law enforcement not take her electronics?
I have no idea, Tina. No idea, okay?
It is shady as fuck, man.
People can believe what they want to believe. When you get close to this stuff, these people derail. These people come out of the woodworks. It's okay. It's okay. Questions, anybody can question me. Anybody can question me.
Mr. Shell, this is Johnny Kramer's Music Movie Channel. I got one question, sir. I just have one question, sir. Were you ever dropped on your head as a child? That's all I want to know, sir. That's it. That's all I need. Debbie, can you relay that, man? I'm just asking because this is just, I'm dumb, but this is just, I don't understand it. It's just, I don't know. I'm in the wrong business. Debbie's right. Debbie just commented in my chat. Women, he makes women crazy. They do. I've seen them throw underwear at them. I've seen them throw $100 bills at them. It's just, I'm in the wrong business. No, Debbie, I can't be friends with you no more. I need swanky women with money. No, that's just, no, don't tell me that. No, this is what I want. They're giving him money. He's got more vagina than any one man should ever have. And that's just, I'm done with it. It's funny, but not funny. Oh, it's funny. All right. Keep laughing. I'm laughing with you, woman.
I know what I did for them. I know what I did. I know what I did. I know what I've done. And I know where I stand in life. I've never been a part of it. I know who I was with at one time. You remember when I was questioned by the Department of Homeland?
I know, but you get yourself so tangled up in all these shady ass people like Tiffany Tankersley. Did you know Tiffany?
I don't know who knows her. Don't know.
Enter the Shell Fill Lucky Sweepstakes for the chance to win $100,000 or free fuel for a year.
The Colonel has a bucket list. The $10 one, Monday nuggets, Tuesday fried chicken, Wednesday.
Able to give out everything. That's the way they do. Read it. Read up on it. Go and deep dive and read up on it. Now, I don't know why she's apologizing to Candace. I don't know why she's apologizing to Don. I have no idea.
What made you get on that bus leaving Florida to go see her?
It was because of the human trafficking thing we went to.
She just said, hey, why don't you leave the situation that you're in? And because you had been on a highway run for like 3 days, you still weren't even right in your mind at the point that you got on that bus.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about 3 days? You've lost your mind, Tina.
Nope.
I was not on no highway run for 3 days. You
weren't on the highway.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Shell, you have disappeared many times for longer distance of times. And somehow we always find you in the local news as man running down highway, barking at cars. And right away, we know what's going on. And ain't that the truth, Debbie? Well, he's got a lot of time where he was missing. See, he was out of jail way before people knew, probably. We know his whole thing. We know that whole channel. They lie so many times for him. It's unbelievable. You know, the whole thing is, you know, it's just crazy. There's actually some people now that said he was not locked up. He was in a halfway house. And you know, I don't know, but in jail, lockup, prison, you usually can't do lives, you know, on YouTube or whatever. I might be wrong, but I don't know. He scared all the people on the bus. Oh, I remember that when he was on the bus, he was driving, but I was in that chat, Debbie, and he was filming a young lady. He would not take the camera off a young lady. And there was another woman sitting next to him. I remember that video because I went in the chat and I told Ernie, take your camera off that young lady. And he wouldn't listen. None of them would, right? And then some of them did start saying, Ernie, stop filming that lady. And then he touched another girl that was sitting next to him. She had a tattoo on her leg. And she said, don't you touch me. And then I was like, oh, shit. Mr. Shell, you should just sit in your chair, turn your camera off, and behave. And I do believe he got when the bus came to the stop, there was people there waiting for him. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. We tried to help him many times. A lot of people did. A lot of these women did. But you know what I realized? These women, well, they were right. They have this intuition. And they were like, he ain't nobody. He ain't got no team. He's making this up. He's a psycho. He's on, you know, he's been accused of a lot of stuff. Well, we didn't know. Yep, the dude's black dude. he was locked up for probation violation. I don't know.
Hey,
I
you
don't
weren't
know.
on the highway, but you were definitely very confused and disoriented.
No,
And
you're believing the stuff with Debbie.
no, Xander had to talk to you for half a day on the phone.
I talked to
Me?
Xander. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Talk to
Debbie?
Xander.
Yep,
You?
you did.
What are you hiding
You
from me, Debbie?
you were definitely in your state of not knowing what was going to happen next. And then you just all of a sudden wanted to get on a bus and
No,
leave.
that ain't how it went. That ain't how it went at all. Nope.
Well, how'd it go then?
I went back to my natural roots, which is Cherokee. I went to Cherokee first, so you got that wrong.
Okay.
I went to Cherokee. I go to North Carolina, Cherokee a lot. I went to Cherokee. I got back up, gathering myself up, and then I went to the human trafficking convention. I actually.
Aha. So he was in North Carolina. He was in South Carolina and North Carolina. Very interesting, Debbie. It's the wee Jews. Debo, Debbie. Oh. I know. I just thought I'd sound weird. What do you know that you are not telling me, Debbie, yet?
He spoke at that convention, by the
Just
way.
joking.
What convention was it?
It was in Charlotte.
What's the date on it?
I don't know. It was whatever day that I left. It was 2 or 3 days after that.
And it was in Charlotte?
I think it was in August. It was August something, later part of August. I got arrested on the 24th or 26th.
So what did you do after you left that convention?
We went over to her place where she's got 2 or 3 different places. And she said, well, before I can take you back to the bus and all that, you know, if you want to, you can make a little bit extra money here. You could do some work around the house. And I done some painting and I fixed her lights because she was getting ready to go into it. The sale of her house or something like that.
So why did you guys act like you were in a relationship if y'all were staying in different houses?
I never said we was in a relationship.
No, but y'all acted like it. Everybody thought it, and you just like encouraged that.
I never
way of
encouraged that.
thinking.
That was J Rock that did that. J Rock is the one that put the picture up. The one.
That's not true. Ernie Shell said he did know who she, because she said Ernie used to live with her. That's what M9 said. Ernie used to live with her. And Ernie the other day was questioned, or was it yesterday or today? Was questioned, do you know this woman? I think TM asked her or something. And Ernie said, yeah. I used to stay with her and yada, yada, yada. Right. So he did make it sound like he was kind of with her because he lived with her and he knew exactly who she was. So maybe he's trying to make people think, you know, I thought they appeared when she was on camera before to know Ernie real good, like, you know what I mean? If you're a man and a woman, you know. So who knows? Maybe Tina's right. Maybe Miss Tina's right, and they're just stringing it. They're improvising as it goes along to cover their butts or something. I don't know. Maybe
from Florida.
Maybe we're catching them.
So
in
was that
live.
her house you were sitting in with the alien head?
That was their grandma's or something house, I believe. And then they was working on it for the wheel or something. It was something about a wheel thing or something.
What the fuck was that all about?
Now, you have to remember, YouTubers was out to get me at that time. I was wanted and stuff. So we said a lot of things to try to throw people off. Yeah, I always did. I always do that. That ain't got nothing to do with being legal or nothing. You know, I don't know what she fell into after all these years. I know that I tried to get her out of it a couple different times, but Renee can even tell you. Renee will vouch for that. She knows how she is. Then finally we had to just block her. And now she showed up again. I don't know how deep she's in it right now. I don't know.
Did you realize that she was into that kind of thing when you were doing her favors?
So first off, she was not in it, Tina. And that's why you're trying to put these people in to say she was in it then. She was not.
No, I'm not. You said it.
I never said it. She was not in it when
He don't even remember that he said she was in it. He's the one that said he couldn't talk about things because she said the Republicans were telling her to tell him. What is it? Massa, he's losing memory. You know, or he's that good at making up a story, but he did say she was involved in this stuff or something. But she got on there and said she changed her mind and she don't want to be a part of child exploitation. And she apologized to Don and Candace and she said she don't want to be a part of this thing. You know, so she got off. Debbie, am I reading this right? Johnny, do you think Ernie should be scared? Of what? No, it's all acting, but their acting probably got them somehow looked at as suspects or whatever, you know. Like I said a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, the story's got to change pretty soon because no one believed the story and it didn't pan out and it was all lies. The other story and the story before that was the same thing, just a lead on. And it was crazy. Remember when Ernie used to do them videos where he was going to explain what happened? He knew exactly what happened in the case and it went on for 5 years. It was in segments. And people were so pissed off. They're like, all right, come on. What happened? Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys what happened. And then he changed the subject. An hour would go by. And people would be like, is this idiot going to tell us what happened? And he'd be like, well, I got to go, folks. Now you tune in tomorrow where I'm going to explain exactly what happened. It just went on in like 50 segments. He is outing everyone on a live. I don't know.
when I was with her. I've said that 100 times.
Okay, so she got in it in the past year?
Within the last 2 years, probably.
This doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
If you live in Ernie's world, it's perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Fiona. I do appreciate it. The fact
Gee,
is,
it don't
the
make
fact
any
is,
sense. It
J-Rock
never
is
was.
not my
It
account.
never
I
did.
gave the operation, I gave that account to Jay. I gave that to Jay. Jay lives in Florida. I gave that account to him. It used to be my account. It was my old account. And to be honest with you, he gave me the account first. I changed the name. Then I gave it back to him because I started another one. Now, no, you're not, Pretty Sweet Pea. There's no reason for you to be blocked. I'm glad everybody's coming together now, ain't you?
All right, let's back.
Renee's saying you haven't talked to her in 2 years.
I haven't.
Amazon offers hourly employees health care on day one. For the
because it's been 2 years ago, and I tried to get her out of it she got into it probably 2 or 3 months after I got in trouble. Well, I was in jail for 7 months, so think about it. Guys, you forget what I used to do. I was all involved in that stuff.
In what way?
Exactly. He's putting
Tina,
his
you
own
know.
foot-
I know what you did.
He just said, "What are you talking about? I was all involved in that stuff." What stuff? Debbie, I can't. This is just, it's unbelievable. Someone in chat probably said he wasn't involved in nothing, and Ernie had, don't tell me I was involved in this stuff. What stuff were you involved in? This trafficking stuff with this lady? This is just unreal.
Okay, then. That's what I was involved in. I exposed that stuff, guys. I don't have to do it. I can't do it anymore. I'm not licensed. I don't have the license to do it. I don't have the resources I had.
Well, remember when I first met you and you told me about all the things you were doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you?
Tina, if it wasn't true, when I was questioned by the Department of Homeland Security was called on us. They came to make an official investigation, right?
Well, I get that, yes.
Well, listen to me.
I know all about it.
What did they end up doing? Did they run me?
Yes.
And was it credible?
I mean, from what I understand, that's why you're not in jail.
Did they? Exactly. Because I made a lot of claims, didn't I?
Yep.
And they run the marshal shit. They run all that, didn't they?
Yep.
And it was come out. Then they wanted to work with us, right?
Yep.
They don't want to work with people that are bad people, Tina.
Well, remember.
I can't no more. I can't. They don't want to work with people that are bad. Then why did they zap you 20 times on the highway numerous times? Why did they continue to arrest Mr. Ernie Shell numerous times on video? Debbie, can you explain that? I can't be bad enough for you to take my wrench. Debbie, you've been blackmailing me for many years. I can't believe that. This is hilarious. It is just. He says something to get you to think, right? What are you guys talking about? I was involved in this stuff, and then she says, what stuff? Taking down everybody. Yeah, this is just too much. I swear to God, he is a great bullshitter. One of the best. And I've seen a lot. So I'll tell you that much, man. He just sticks his foot in his mouth and somehow pulls it right out, smelling like a rose on his birthday that one of these broads gave him or whatever. Like that song. Smelling like a rose on my birthday, somebody gave me. I think that was Stone Temple Pilots.
Remember when I asked you, though, what they do with these kids after they get rescued?
You can't be bad enough
Yeah,
for me to take
I
the
do.
wrench. They were bad.
They go to social
You gave
services.
them a week off.
Most of them do.
To think
If they
about
can't reunite them with their family, they go to social services.
You need about a
You guys, my phone's blowing up.
Yeah.
I know. It's okay. Kids are worth a lot of money, guys. A lot. And that's what we was doing to expose all that. No, Tessie, I will not, because it is got a lot to do with it. We
I
had a
just don't
timeline.
understand how all of this from the point that you were doing that and being Captain Save a Kid and all that before YouTube, how you ended up like in the houses of people like Alicia Turner. I know you didn't ever meet Tiffany real life, but
So here's the thing. You don't know what.
Here's the thing. People just can't connect the dots and understand that everywhere these child trafficking, crazy drug places are, Mr. Shell is there. Why were you at this crazy broad's house that is trafficking her? Well, you have to understand I was there helping. Don't be mine. You're not an investigator. You're not government. You're not nothing. What were you there doing? I mean, that's pretty, I don't know. Debbie, I know you're trying to do as much damage as you can, so I take your wrench. I know. Despise this channel.
What I was involved with. You don't understand. You do know that I worked. That was my job, Tina, at one time.
yeah, I know it was your job at one time.
Okay. So now why would I be involved in it if it's my job? Think about it long and hard.
Well, I mean, we can all just speculate.
Uh-oh.
That's what I did.
Uh-oh, Miss
Em
M9's
too.
back.
Em was involved for a long time. She helped with human trafficking.
And Miss
Didn't you?
Katie.
Did you not do stuff with the state representatives against human trafficking, Em?
With the human trafficking?
Vote. August 11th, 13th.
So there
Somebody's
you go.
got an echo.
Thank God.
You definitely should vote. Absolutely.
It was Katie. So were you working in anti-human trafficking before you met Ernie?
I'm always against human trafficking.
Well, I know, but were you working like with officials or law enforcement or anything, like helping in anti-human trafficking, like a job?
So I
Yes,
I love this
I
little
like
setup
law
up here,
enforcement
but I
laws
really
against
feel like
anti-
this
human
woman
trafficking
does
enforcement.
not
Drop
serve
her.
any
She's
purpose.
echoing and talking over her.
Can we go back to the
I don't
timeline of
know.
Summer
What the
because this
address
woman
is,
is just
yes,
not
worse.
serving any
Especially
purpose.
Katie.
I agree.
I'm
And
sorry.
why-
I'm here to talk about the timeline of Summer, and this lady comes up and comes down and comes up. She's fucking around with everybody. She's messing up this. She's just being annoying and distracting. So until she wants to actually have a conversation.
Oh my God. So Debbie, was M9 already working for the government when Ernie came along? Did she just take down Katie and TM and all these people? And that's why she keeps popping in and out. That's why she's eating cake. She's eating her cake right in front of them, Debbie. She's in her bathing robe, in her hair bun, glasses on, eating cake. You see it? She's just eating her cake while she's on camera. They're like, did you work for the government before? And she shook her head, yes. And Ernie's like, see, I told you guys. Probably because she busted Ernie and now all of you. I love it. Keep the cameras rolling.
With you, Ernie, and not do all this weirdo shit where she sits and like makes kissy faces and bats her eyelashes at the camera, acting stupid, but then acting like she's mad and shit. Like, please, let's get back to the timeline of Summer Wells. Please.
That's great. It was
Thank you.
derailed.
Bye.
Thank you. It was derailed. It's not my problem that it was derailed. That's what people do. They derail it, and everybody wants to hear that explanation when they know what it's taken off and what it's taken away. The fact of the matter is, it happens, okay? It happens. It's going to even happen worse. Wait till part 2. Wait till you see the rest of the stuff. Wait till you see everybody coming out. Wait till you see Tim Mullins come out. Wait till you see Trudy have a fucking Harry conniption fit because of what we got. Wait till you see the people start coming out in this. And then you're going to see exactly.
Hello, I'm the pill version of Ozempic.
Which should be kept in its actual bottle.
Debbie, I think what he's meaning, there's going to be so many people coming out, meaning there are a lot of these people are probably gay. They're probably coming out of the closet or something. And everybody, and that's, I bet you watch the story turn. I did say they were coming out.
Never wanted
They were
this at all,
coming
as a
out of
matter
the
of fact.
closet. They're all gay
Now,
people.
let's do this the right way. Tina.
Yes.
I appreciate you for coming up. Let me get back on track.
All right, get on track.
Be safe.
Debbie, you want cake? I know cake would be good right now.
Now, before this was completely fucking
Remind me to get
derailed,
some tomorrow.
literally, before this was derailed, and it went sideways, it's very weird. And it gets weirder, people. It's going to get weirder.
All right, folks, it is getting late. We are going to end this. Tune in next week with another episode of As the Fruit Loops Turn. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my own self. This is just unreal. How did the government let this crap get this bad? That says a lot. We'll be looking at the ballots this year real close of how this bull crap got way out of whack. It's obvious the government knows exactly what's going on. It's obvious everyone's making, making fun of this. And I don't blame them. The case, the little girl missing and the circumstances that she went through is horrible. But this side circus is just unbelievable. And I can't believe it went on so far. People made calls, and that might be back to the to what a lot of these people are saying, corruption. A lot of us got it right. We're hoping the government sees that. They were looking for probably Shell and other stuff in the madness that he was doing way back when he was in the wrestling thing many, 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 many years ago. What happened on that with Triple Diamond, or what was his name, Debbie? Debbie, As the Fruit Loops Turn. Debbie is that's the soap opera. Now, Debbie, what was that Diamond Cutter, Triple D or whatever his name was, that wrestler? What happened in that video? Ernie got taken away by the police. So it is a history, a long one of this. It's a pattern. It's a pattern that he never learned how to break. Now, we're going to end this. We'll be back with more of As the Fruit Loops Turn, the Ernie Show channel. I'm wondering to see who he's going to be next week. I'm waiting to see who he's going to be next week. Diamond Dallas Page. Yeah, you remember that thing? That was way back, and they arrested him there for for some weird stuff, man. So, you know, that's all I can say is this is a pattern. And you know what? These ladies are pretty nice trying to, you know, like maybe TM and a couple of these ladies are nice trying to break that pattern. They all think they can break this man. They can tame him. They're going to be the ones that tamed and broke and you know, they say behind every great man is a woman, and they want to be one of them women, you know, and it just ain't working out. It just ain't working out. I think they're all starting to realize that the whole thing is just crazy. Debbie, what do you think? Your opinions real fast before we leave. It's getting late. It's getting late. I posted Mr. Ernie Shell's chat or channel in my chat and in the description. Folks, go over there and subscribe and watch for yourself of possibly one of the greatest bullshit artists that up as you know, even the government scratching their head now. And that says a lot, I can tell you that. Debbie, is there anything you want to comment on? Yeah, I know. It's just crazy, Debbie. It's just, no, not Fruit Loops. As the Fruit Loops turn is going to be this one. Because I think every single one of them are Fruit Loops. And this whole thing coming out might just be that. Ernie's just like, there's going to be a massive coming out. People are going to be coming out everywhere. And it's probably a gay rainbow thing or something. Oh, Debbie, this is too much. It's hilarious. It's like a sideshow circus. I am sad a little girl is at the head of all this. Exactly. Exactly. That's the saddest thing out of it. Like Miss TM was saying, I agree with her. It's sad what happened. This should happen to no child, no man, no woman, any, you know. And we're not laughing at that, at this situation. We're laughing at Ernie Shell keeps getting himself in trouble, and that is funny. Hilarious. A lot of these YouTubers. Don't worry, Benny's right around the corner. Oh, Benny Keys is right around. There's already talk in other chats. You know, who staged this whole thing? Who was the mastermind? Also in Delphi, what were we looking for? What did the police and the government said? We believe that there's a mastermind that put this whole dang thing together. And they're still looking for him today. And I hope they catch him. And what are we seeing in the Summer Wells case? A mastermind that put this, they put this whole thing, the perfect storm, into play to confuse, make money, drugs, whatever it may be, prostitution, sex, women. You know, why did Ernie get into this? We ain't dumb. If he's a straight man, probably women and the money. Turns out he's a Fruit Loop, from what they say. Some guy, Cole Porter, on Grind 'Em If You Got 'Em, which is a dating site for gay men, I think. I'm not sure that's what they said. But I don't even know if that's true. We have no proof of nothing, of anything these people saying to be true other than they're crazy. We know that. Now, I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. Hit the sub, hit the subscription. Do I hate any of these people? No, I'm just doing my job as a YouTuber and a content creator, covering story cases, playing music, doing skits, laughing, joking, outdoor videos. That's what we do. Solving crimes. God bless America, and I bet you the government's scratching their head on this one. Who is this Ernie Shell? Mr. Kramer? I don't know, he claims. He claims he's related to Johnny Depp, but I put a blonde wig on and claimed he was Feldman, which I actually kind of like Corey Feldman's movies. Other than that, he's been in the military 20 times, invaded 7 countries, and supposedly was Trump's right-hand man. And it just gets better from there. I'm not sure. But 7 blue crosses and 20 vagina or penis crosses or whatever they were. I don't know. He's gone crazy. He's been caught with all kinds of bags of women toys or something. I don't know. It's just nobody knows who he is. He claims he's yours and he works for you guys. We have no idea who he is. We have no idea who this man is. You sure? He says he eats dinner with Trump and everything. No, I'm pretty sure we don't know who this guy is. I could have swore he said he scratched Trump nuts. No, he's never been close enough. Or we would have let him scratch Trump's nuts. Nobody wants to be around Trump. Oh, all right. So, and it just goes on and on and on. Now, you folks have a great night. God bless. It is funny. It's sad what happened to Mrs. Little Summer Moon. And my condolences to the family. Life sucks. It really does. And my heart bleeds for a mother and a father. But you know what hurts the most, folks, is when you do the investigation and the work and you find out that you're at square one again. And that's the family and the people that were around the family. And it's just like so many other cases we've seen. Now, you have a good night. Cut the movie. Exactly, cut. You folks have a great night. God bless. We'll be back with more content. Like I said, go over to Ernie Shells. Hit the subscribe or whatever, the like. And you make your own decisions, folks. But it just keeps getting better and better and better. And worse for them. But as you're a creator, movie person, whatever, it just, and what's sad is most of their theories that he's saying are ours. It's literally some of my script. I don't know. It's crazy. Have a good night. God bless. Debbie, why are you pooping in my chat? They treat their kids like poop, man. I don't feel sorry for them. I want to thank God Almighty, the true King of all kings, for my children had a good life and I wasn't there. So thank God, because they're all grown adults and smart kids and make way more than me because I'm poor and I don't make anything. So I want to thank God they're safe, healthy, and have working abilities and children and everything. And I'll be back again.